Hey guys, I'm Evan. Welcome to Country View Acres. So here in a week or two, I'm gonna have to bale hay again, and I really need to get the oil changed in the T654. And one thing I've done in the past, or that I haven't done in the past, is when I go to work on a piece of equipment, I don't try to clean it first. And then I'm messing with like a really greasy, oily tractor, and it ends up just being a mess. So I'm trying to correct that today. So I've sprayed down the back of the, where you plug your hydraulics and stuff in. There's always oil leaking and stuff back here from the connectors. So I've got this all sprayed down with some degreaser. And what I'm using is, this is Zepp industrial grade purple degreaser. And this is supposed to make like 25 gallons. It's very concentrated, but I just use it straight in a squirt bottle. And it works pretty good for cleaning up grease and oil. So I'm gonna let that degreaser sit for a few minutes, and then we'll power up the pressure washer. We're gonna get the whole tractor and the engine compartment and underneath it. We're gonna try to get it as clean as possible. We'll let it dry overnight. Tomorrow we'll pull it in the workshop. We're gonna change the oil, and we're also gonna change the hydraulic transmission fluid as well. All right, it's the next day. Just got a few things that I need to move in front of the garage, and then we can get this inside. So I know I'm going to have some people tell me that I should try to put the TYM tractor on the automotive lift and lift it in the air. But the problem is to have the hood open, to be able to put the oil back in, change the filter, the loader has to be in the air, or I have to take the loader completely off the tractor. And I don't want to take the loader off the tractor. So I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way on the ground. All right, gonna start off with the oil change. So this here is the oil pan. There's actually a drain plug on both sides. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drain from one side first. Whoa! That definitely caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting it to flow out like that. Oil filters right here on the side of the engine. Oh, there we go. Hopefully this goes in the pan. And it is. At least this one ain't making a mess. So you can buy filters, through your TYM dealer, but they also have like a maintenance kit, and that's what I got here. So this includes, got my oil filter, I've got a hydraulic filter, and then I've got a fuel filter, and then I've got the second fuel filter as well. And then in this box, I believe this is the air filter. There it is. That is the air filter. Now, I'll probably blow the one out in the machine. We'll see how it looks. I may just keep this one on the shelf for later. I don't typically change air filters frequently, just when they need it. Just take some of this used oil and wipe it on the seal of the gasket of the oil filter. I'm just going to put this one on as tight as I can get it with my hand. There we go. All right, now I just got to drain the other side of the oil pan. try to be a little bit more ready this time. Well, it shouldn't spray out as hard this time, but I'm ready to catch it. Ooh, I almost didn't catch it. I almost missed. So in the book, it says I need 8.5 liters. It says it's 1.86 US gallons. Now, from my experience, that's actually not correct. I believe that this is British gallons, which doesn't match the US gallons. So I'm just gonna go ahead and run 8.5 liters through a calculator real quick and double check. So that comes out to 2.245 US gallons, and it does match the British gallons. So my manual is incorrect. So I'm gonna be using some 15W40, and this is made for diesel engines. Go ahead, just start the engine for a few seconds and then check the oil. All right, she's full. So air comes in this way, so we'll blow it out with the air compressor the other way. It's actually pretty dirty. I think I'm just going to go ahead and put a whole new one in it. All right, I think I'm done in there. Next is hydraulic transmission fluid. Need to get a bigger oil pan because I'm going to end up filling this thing probably 5 times. Oh, I pulled the dipstick. Now she's flowing. That's probably full enough. Oh man, Evan. Why am I having a hard time? Oh, there we go. I think I was going to stop it there for a minute. She's full. I definitely had that oil pan way too full. There's a magnet on the end of that plug. That's what was keeping me from getting in the hole. It was wanting to stick to the frame. Pan number 3. So next is the hardest part of this maintenance, is these big hydraulic oil filters. There's actually 2 of these, and they are down in here between the fender well. Come down. There's one of them, and the other one is behind that one. And when these are straight from the factory, they are almost impossible to get off of there. So I put these on, so hopefully they'll come off a lot easier, but no matter what, they're just so big, bulky, and in an awkward spot, it's just not easy. I've got this filter wrench that uses a chain. All right, the first one came loose pretty easy. There she goes. All right, there we go, 662 hours, August 11th. So under this step is the fuel filters. So the filter in the front was like a pre-filter water separator. This one here in the back is the main fuel filter. Must be the fuel pump right there. All right, we got fuel coming in. All right, fuel filters are changed. I think I got diesel fuel back in them. I had to prime the pump a couple times, so I'm gonna go ahead and start it up, see if it works. All right, seems like everything's good. I gotta just put that cover back over the fuel filters, and then I think we are done. So I've been needing to change the oil in the tractor for a while. I was meaning to do it before I cut hay earlier this year. I just never got around to it. So at least all the maintenance is done and it is ready for our next cutting of hay. So when I changed those fuel filters, I ended up, I drained out quite a bit of diesel fuel when I did that. And what I'm thinking to try to use that fuel is I've still got all of these rotten logs and stuff here from the dump trailer the other day. I need to push them into the hole there. So we'll put the bucket on the tractor. Once we get it in the hole, I'll put that diesel fuel on there. I may throw a little extra diesel fuel on there. We'll see if we can get this to burn. Half of this is rotten wood. I think half of it's like dirt. I just don't got a good feeling, I guess, that this is actually gonna end up burning. Well, I came over here and checked and I'm out of diesel. So all three of these gas cans are empty. Both of these diesel cans, only one gas can has anything in it. So I'm just gonna take these to town. I'm gonna go get them all filled up. And I really just need to get all these diesel tanks and everything fixed so that I can have a farm fuel station here. I just really need to get it done. It's just not priority right now, so I'm just gonna keep limping myself along with these 5-gallon cans. give it some time and we'll see what happens. Starting to get to the nicer part of the evening where it's more shady and starting to cool off a little bit. The temperature was, it felt like 105 today. The heat wave is back, and that's why I decided to work inside out of the sun today. I figured that would be better in the heat to do that, but man, it was still pretty warm in the garage. So out here in the front pasture, we have moved the electric wire a little bit, changed where we're grazing. So we put the cattle back out here in the sorghum Sudan yesterday, getting them to graze this back down a little bit. They're actually just right there. And then here's the sorghum Sudan that we haven't touched. And this is what I'm planning on baling. And you can see there's a few of them. There's a few of them here. They're already starting to shoot up the seed pods on top, or going to seed. And I was really wanting to bale it before it went to seed, but it's already started. It's not all of it yet, but it's like 10% probably has gone to seed. So that's why I plan on baling this, or I plan on cutting it probably tomorrow or the next day, and then we'll get this baled up. So when I cut that, I'll have to go down here and I'll have to turn around through where they're grazing. So I thought, well, might as well just go ahead and have them eat it down as much as possible before I start running it over with the tractor. So this will take me a couple days to cut and then bale this up into haylage bales, get it all wrapped and put away. And after that, here pretty soon we'll start having to bale the regular hay pastures on the south side of the property. And here at the end of the month, we're gonna disc the north side of that field. We're gonna disc that all in here at the end of August. And we are going to plant it in pasture grass, just like what we have here. And everything's hitting here pretty soon. It's gonna be a pretty busy month here in August. So on the south end of the pasture, we got the lambs out here. You probably can't see them, but the lambs are out here grazing, and they can't keep up with this. There's just way too much grass and clover out here. So I'll probably take the cattle and combine them all together. I'll move the cattle over to this side and I'll let the cattle graze with the sheep while I bale that up over the next few days. Well, now the wood pile is pretty much just smoking, hardly any flames at all. I figure that's what this rotten wood will end up doing. It'll just sit there and smolder, not really burn. Well, all of our potatoes have died off, so it's time to harvest them. This is our first time growing potatoes in these protein tubs. The idea behind it was I could just dump them out. It'd be a lot easier than digging them up. Oh, there's a bundle. A little weird shaped, but we do have some potatoes. Oh. That's a nice size one there. They are kind of weird shaped. See, some of these were right at the surface and the sunlight turned them green. You gotta make sure you peel that part off because that is kind of poisonous, I guess. So right there, that's our first protein tub. I think we planted like 4 seed potatoes, 3 or 4 seed potatoes. Not the biggest harvest in the world. See how the other ones turn out. A few big ones. All right, I've got all 4 protein tubs harvested. First couple turned out about the same, and we got some pretty decent sized potatoes in here. A lot of different sizes, but there's some big ones in here. Now the next one didn't do so well, less potatoes in it, and then this one right here had the biggest potato right there. So you've got a couple growing on the side of it, but that's the biggest potato out of all of them. And there's more in that last one too. These are supposed to be Kennebec russet potatoes, and some of them are really weird shaped. There's a lot of them that are almost like banana shaped. There's a lot of small ones, a lot of them that have grown together. So to me, they kind of turned out a little different than normal. but not as big of a harvest. I was really hoping to get, I don't know, maybe twice as much out of each one of those protein tubs as I did, but it is what it is. It's way easier to harvest that way though. No digging, just dump it in the bucket, sort through it, and then put it back in the protein tub. Well, today has been a pretty long day. It is 7:50 in the evening. I did run to town first thing this morning, had to go pick up a few things at the farm store, and I had to mail some stuff at the post office. Didn't get started on the tractor till about 10 a.m. this morning, and I didn't get done with it till about 3 p.m. So about 5 hours total. I did take a small break in there for lunch, but yeah, it took a while, most of my day working on the tractor, but at least it's all maintenance, and I should be good for another year now. But I have a feeling the rest of this week is going to be just as busy, because I'm going to try to get the sorghum Sudan grass cut and baled, and then our meat chickens, which are right out here on pasture, they're huge. I mean, they look enormous. And we're gonna have to get those butchered and processed. Probably do it this weekend with Rebecca's help. But yeah, it's probably gonna be nonstop all week long with stuff that just really needs to be done. I think I had a bug just fly up my nose. Another thing I've been working on off camera of an evening is I've been working on those pipe posts. The ones that I moved earlier in the video to get out of the way, I have been painting those, and I ended up running out of paint. So I picked up some more paint this morning. I think I've got like 9 more over there to get painted, and then I can start on the next set of posts, getting those all painted. And I'm hoping to have that all done, and then after the silage, I can start maybe pounding in posts for this fencing project that I plan to do out here in the pasture. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a busy month, and it's gonna be a hot one. It was a heat index of 105 today, and I think it's basically the same for the next week. It's just gonna be miserable outside. The only highlight of that, I guess the good part of that, is when I go cut the silage, you go cut the sorghum Sudan grass, at least I'll be in this tractor that's air conditioned, and that'll at least make it a little bit easier. But I think for today, I think that's gonna wrap up this video. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.